In traditional web design, we've been limited to a very strict set of fonts. Fonts like Helvetica and Tahoma and Times New Roman and so on. And there's nothing wrong with any of these fonts. Some of them are fantastic, as a matter of fact, but it's still a very limited set. What if we wanted to do something a little bit more creative, a little bit more artsy? Well, we can make use of a font service. Specifically, I want to show you Google Fonts and the Google Font API. I have no idea if you've ever seen this before or not, but I definitely wanted to make it a part of the course because it's really, really cool. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to head over to Google Fonts, so google.com/fonts, and it's going to bring you to this page here. Okay. Now, I definitely encourage you to explore through the fonts that they have available. There's tons and tons of fonts here, and they're all absolutely free to use, which is great. And they're all cross-browser compatible, and they're cross-platform and cross-device compatible as well, which is great. So I'm going to show you how we can make use of a particular font inside of our layout. I'm going to head up to the top left corner and search for a font called Oleo, so O-L-E-O. Okay, go ahead and search for that guy. And the search is dynamic, by the way. I didn't hit enter or anything. It just sort of filters out the results here inside the main screen. And the font that I'm looking for is this guy here, Oleo Script Swash Caps, this guy here. Okay. So here's how we can make use of this guy. Over towards the right-hand side, we could, add him to a collection and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to use this option here, Quick Use. Okay, so go ahead and click on that guy. All right, brings us into this screen here. Now, I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. We have a couple of different steps here. You can read through all this, by the way, but I'm kind of speeding things up for our purposes. It says, add this code to your website. If you scroll down just a little bit, it's step number 3. So this line of code here needs to go into the head area of our HTML document. Okay, so grab this code and copy it, Control or Command C. Okay, and I'm going to flip back over to my coding application. I'm going to head into my HTML file, scrolling all the way up towards the top. There's the link to my external style sheet. I'm just going to create a little bit of white space underneath them and paste just like that. Okay, that's all we need to do. Go ahead and save up your HTML file. So now our HTML document is connected up to the Google Font API, which is wonderful, and specifically the font that you and I want to use inside of our layout. Okay, so that's the first step, getting our HTML document connected up to the API. Now, how can we actually make use of the font that we want to use? Well, the first thing that I want to do is I want to change my headline. Let me flip back over to my browser just for a second, back over to my layout. This main headline that we have here, I want to change this text. Okay, so inside the HTML document, I'm going to go and look for that text. He's inside the hero section. Okay, so look for your hero section. We were just working on the hero button previously, and there's the main headline right there. He's inside a heading 1. Okay, and I'm going to change this to read, share your beautiful designs. Okay, great. Make sure to save up your work. Now, again, we've completed the first step, which is plugging in the API. Now we want to go and plug in the font. So I'm going to head over to my external style sheet. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. By the way, as you can see, I collapsed all that extra white space that we had. I'm going to scroll down to where I see my hero section inside my external style sheet, probably for yourself around line 20 if you have your line numbering turned on. And I'm looking for the H1, the heading 1 inside the hero section. Okay. And once again, what I'll do is I'll isolate this guy so we can see him a little bit more clearly. Now, what I want to do is I want to plug in the font that you and I had selected from Google Fonts. So I'm going to head back over to the Google Fonts page where we were just a moment ago. I'm going to scroll down a little bit to step 4, integrate the font into your CSS. You can read through all this if you want, or you can simply follow me along, which is grab all of this code here. Notice it's font-family, :space, and then the name of the font. And there's a little bit of a font stack happening here. It's going to fall back to cursive just in case anything nasty or bad happens. Okay, so I'm going to copy that code and flip back over to my external style sheet and drop it into the H1. So it's section.hero H1. Okay, so I'm just going to drop my cursor within the squiggly brackets and paste just like that. That's all there is to it. It's super straightforward. Okay. All right. Now, before we save and refresh, there's a few other changes that I want to make to our section hero H1. I want to increase his font size from 30 pixels to 55 pixels. Okay. The other thing that I want to do is I want to throw on a line height as well. I'll just stick this on right after the font size. I'm going to go line hyphen height, like so, full colon space, and I'm going to go 1em, or said another way, 100%. Okay, just like that, 100% of the font size, that is. Okay, and let's see, I want to set a font weight as well, font hyphen weight, and I'm going to set that to normal. Okay, like so. All right, go ahead and save up your work and head back to your browser, back to your layout, of course, and refresh, Control or Command R, and there's our Google font, our Olio script coming through. Isn't that awesome? And this isn't an image, it's text. You can select it, you can copy it, that kind of thing. Very, very awesome. So if you've never seen anything like this before, it's definitely cool. You'll definitely want to make use of it inside your own projects. Okay? All right, awesome stuff. I'm going to finish things off with a simple drop shadow on the text that appears inside of our hero section, this text here. So I'm going to do so, of course, inside the external style sheet. I'm going to go and look for my hero content. He's a class rule just above the section hero H1. That's the guy that we're going to go and put a drop shadow onto. So I'm going to go text hyphen shadow like so, full colon space. And I'm going to offset this guy a pixel by a pixel. That will work. Let's put a 5 pixel blur on him. And as far as his color goes, let's do our good old RGBA. And then once again, I'm going to get a line break here. But what I want is 50% black. Okay, so that's going to be 0, 0, 0, and 0.5. Okay, and don't forget, of course, your semicolon on the end. And of course, I'll leave it up to you to collapse any white space that you've created inside your CSS. But in the meantime, go ahead and refresh your browser, and there's a very subtle drop shadow now applied, not only to the H1, share your beautiful designs, but also the paragraph that appears beneath it inside the hero section.